Okay, welcome to our today's second session on the online course which we are studying from last 6 weeks. Today is week number 7, episode number 7 in understanding the pain body, based on Eckhart Tolle's intellectual and spiritual work he has done through his class. So I'm warmly welcome again everyone on my online lifelong study circle. The main purpose of this circle is to filling the gaps of our life, which will remain unfulfilled, which our schools, colleges, and society could not fulfilled, and we are trying to fill those gaps to improve our life, to enhance our productivity, and more importantly, integrity, to accomplish different and new things in our life. So I'm your host, Maratib, and we are in our second class of today's session. So I'm going to start today. The book and the reading I have taken from great book, A New Earth. A New Earth is a masterpiece of our favorite author, Eckhart Tolle. And the same very much subject I also taught couple of months ago, and there is a recording also available. If you want to enhance your knowledge in this topic, so you can also find the healing the past. That is a topic you can find it. So before I go to further, I would just have a quick look into what we covered in last 6 weeks about the pain body. The pain body is an reality, is an ultimate reality within live with us, and that is also based on our childhood and the previous life history when our problems remained unresolved, when our negative energies could not express themselves, when we were tortured, when we were abused, when we were not dealt adequately, then all these negative energies stored uh, in my body, in my mind, in form of memories, but they all went into unconscious mind. They all stored in my body cells, and they reappear in the life later on in my life, and that made me violent, that made me so also abusive sometimes, that made me also uh, a reactive person, and that also start to uh, make me ill person. I start to physically ill actually. My body start to experience different illnesses, maybe in a severe scenario, cardiac arrest, strokes, um, and a lot of other things. The normal tendency are usually the lower back pain, my muscular pain, my joint pain. Uh, I I I have a problem um, in living healthy life. My blood pressure is shooting up. You know, my pulse rate or anxiety start to uh, accelerate automatically without any reason. So these all things are or maybe the reflection of my pain body, which is paining, which is in pain, and which needs to resolve, which needs to make you consciously accept that it happened to you, because you did not accept it, what happened bad to you in past. That's why it's coming in your life. Where, no matter you are 50, 60, 70 years of age, it will appearing and will reappear and will reappear until you need to resolve it. You need to be aware about this thing. And that is a reality in our today's world. We can go to seek the doctor. That is the first thing we need to do. But at the same time, spiritually, we have to deal it. Spiritually, we have to work on this thing on my own, because it's my life. When I see the doctor, when I see the general physician, he or she will not know my history of my life. He or she will not ask, oh, how you were, your history of your previous like 30, 40, 60 years of life. Tell me about the each bad event of your happened in your life. They won't ask you. Then, then who? Then what? I need to know about myself, and I need to educate myself so that those things spiritually which I can manage myself, I need to do. And physically, doctor, whatever they can do, they can do. And which, and by a good relationship with your physician, you will become perfectly healthy person, and it will help you to increase your life span as well. So that's how we are going to learn today. Today in class number 7, we are going to learn how my pain body elevates itself by thoughts. It's very important topic. Nobody triggers your pain body, only your thoughts start to trigger it. Suddenly, have you noticed it? A person had a suddenly cardiac arrest. A person's blood pressure start to shoot up automatically, and that person was good. But suddenly something happened. Mostly it may be due to the past unresolved energies remained stored in your body, and that start to react because your thoughts start to trigger it. Have you noticed that you were very happy? Suddenly, any past memory you are going into, and that memory, that that negative experience, that negative event of your life, it start to trigger you, and you become now aggressive. Did you notice it? Or you notice in someone? Uh, and usually partner, then they do like this as well. Oh, we were really in romantic mood, and we were very in a good mood with each other, and suddenly something happened with my partner, and he or she start to shout. He or she behaved like an entirely different person. I couldn't imagine what she was doing or what he was doing on that time. And especially when we take some alcohol, or we drink, and that drink stimulate my pain body, and I start to shout and start to loud my voice, and my partner will know all things what she or he did not notice before about. And Eckhart Tolle said that it happens usually when you uh, have in a beginning of your relationship, of your early weeks of your marriage, and after you have a good honeymoon period, when your partner start to totally behave differently, then you had a nightmare, like you experience, oh, he or she was not that person which I met before. Oh my God, what type of person I had a marriage. I didn't know about you. And that pain body, because we don't know, we are not ready to perceive that pain. So my partner also had a nightmare about my pain body until we both are aware about what's going on. And the good partner is the partner who have the acceptance and knows the pain body triggers of your partners, and he or she helps you to control that triggers rather than to become part of trigger. You know what I'm talking about? So Eckhart Tolle is saying that your thoughts or your past memory, which are also stored in form of thoughts. Remember, whatever happened negatively in your life, they all are stored here, but these storage is in form of thoughts. And when your memory and your brain went into the unconscious and start to live in that past, your body start to react and your blood pressure start to you start to shivering, and you start to scared. Usually it happens with many people, uh, and so that's we are going to read today. So let's start our reading for today. And Yeah, we have our today's new um, friend. I think he's Dale, if we are pronouncing name. So
It's Dale.
Dale, okay.
Yes.
Sorry about that. So Dale, are you able to read this paragraph for us?
I'm here with you. What I see on the top left is the pain body awakens from
Okay.
its dormancy when it gets hungry. Is that what you want me to read from there?
Yes, please.
Okay. When it is time to replenish itself, alternately, it may get triggered by an event at any time. So the pain body that is ready to feed can use the most insignificant event as a trigger. Something somebody says or does, or even a thought. If you live alone or there is nobody around at the time, the pain body will feed on your thoughts. Suddenly, your thinking becomes deeply negative. You are most likely unaware that just prior to the influx of negative thinking, a wave of emotion invaded your mind as a dark and heavy mood, as anxiety or fiery anger. All thought is energy, and the pain body is now feeding on the energy of your thoughts. But it cannot feed on any thought. You don't need to be a particularly sensitive you don't need to be particularly sensitive to notice that a positive thought has a totally different feeling tone than a negative one. It is the same energy, but it vibrates at a different frequency. A happy, positive thought is indigestible to the pain body. It can only feed on negative thoughts because only those thoughts are compatible with its own energy field.
Thank you, Dale. It's a
You're
great.
welcome.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
No problem. So it's a great reading. I appreciate it. So if you see, that's how Eckhart Tolle is explaining about the pain body, how it is indigestible with the positive vibes. So if you are thinking positively, if you are feeling good, you are spiritually sounded, your pain body does not awake, or it does not respond, it does not get stimulated, it does not triggered. But as soon you any small event happen, any insignificant activity happened, that possibly can be a destructive contributor to awaken your pain body. And then you are a totally different person. Oh my God, James, what happened to you? James, you are the most trusty and reliable and mature person I found. but James, what happened to you? You are totally different. And James say, oh, sorry, honey, I didn't know what happened to me. I was out of control. I didn't know why I shouted, why I said this, why I behaved like this. And, that's all drama start to come. So we become more a very good actor, I would say, sarcastically, when we are under influence of pain body. And because, like I said, the root cause, Eckhart Tolle he said, we did not resolve these negative events in our past, so that's why it will repeatedly come. And it needs little trigger, and it is going to be blast your relationship. It needs little stimulus, and then your response will be totally violent. You can't imagine what happened. On a small thing, divorce start to happen. On a small thing, you become violent. On a very irrelevant, insignificant action of your partner or your boss or your employee or your client, you start to out of control. So that's all is a part of our pain body. So let's continue further. And Eckhart Tolle is now a little bit more spiritual here and more scientific approach here. And he says why this pain body happens. So let's start to read it. So I would ask Jenny if you can read it, please.
I want to give an example of something that just happened based on this conversation.
Yeah.
Last night I was speaking to a friend, and he was telling me for 30 minutes about his job, and he's been complaining about his job for like a really long time. Like every time I talk to him, it's about this job that he just hates. And so after a half hour of listening to him last night, I was waiting on the punchline of, the solution. Like, at the end of all the complaining, what are you going to do about it? So in my mind, I'm thinking solution. Like, okay, well, obviously he's at the end of the line here. There's nothing else that can be done. He needs to get a new position. So I asked him, I said, look, it's been 30 minutes. You told me about this really same thing that we always talk about. What are you going to do in terms of, doing about it? Are you looking for another job? Have you spoken to your management? Like what is the end game here? And he got so mad. He was like, I've spoken to you for 30 minutes and you haven't even heard me. I was telling you what's going on. I can't believe you don't understand what this is like. I thought you were listening. Well, I was listening. I just wasn't hearing bullet points of what are you going to do, right? That totally offended him. He was so mad at me. So I've heard from him this morning, and he was like, you're right. I'm so sorry I had an outburst like that. He said, I was really thinking so negatively. So I think that my positive, turning of events thoughts were not inconsistent. They were not consistent with his negativity. And he said, I got online last night and I started applying for new jobs, and I'm going to do that all day today. I am going to take care of this situation, but I did not receive that well last night. And so he was triggered, like what you were talking about. He was triggered.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. And I guess I was insensitive to the complaining. I don't know. So.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. We here in UK, of course, that would be happening in America as well, that we often swear at each other, a lot of swearing, and that swearing is a different kind from low intensity to high intensity. On a very small thing, we overreact, and overreact is, of course, if we go into the history, has a psychological root with the history of that person, especially when we are on the roads and we are driving, and the little small mistake of any driver make other person so offensive for everyone, and that all I'm not saying everything is connected with pain body, but majority events or overreaction of our life has a main root cause of our past, uh, and that is a pain body. Some people have a dense pain body, other people have a little lighter pain body, but all we have in any level, any with our current life as well. But good news is, as far as we are aware about, and my partner or my co-worker or my friends knows about, then it won't be a very destructive for me or for others. But this awareness has to be with us. That is the whole point of this class and this course, is that it will make us self-sufficient to control my pain body, to avoid any physical illness in future as well. And that's how we can go. Yeah, so Jenny, if you can read it, please.
All things are vibrating energy fields in ceaseless motion. The chair you sit on, the book you are holding in your hands, appear solid and motionless only because that is how your senses perceive their vibrational frequency. That is to say, the incessant movement of the molecules, atoms, electrons, and subatomic particles that together create what you perceive as a chair, a book, a tree, or a body. What we perceive as physical matter is energy vibrating, moving at a particular range of frequencies. Thoughts consist of the same energy vibrating at a higher frequency than matter, which is why they cannot be seen or touched. Thoughts have their own range of frequencies, with negative thoughts at the lower end of the scale and positive thoughts at the higher. The vibrational frequency of the pain body resonates with that of negative thoughts, which is why only those thoughts can feed the pain body.
Thank you. It's a great reading, Jenny. So you see here the Eckhart Tolle is more scientific and give us the scientific reason how the pain body and why the pain body triggers, because of the different frequencies of subatomic particles and molecules and atoms. Why? Because we all are made up by molecules and atoms. Uh, and that's why, for example, I have a mouse here, is a computer mouse. I feel that that is a mouse because of its certain vibration as an object I can feel. Um, and maybe it is something else as well, but I cannot feel it. I did not name other field energies as well. So I do not have awareness about other feature of this mouse or other domains of that mouse. But at the same time, my pain body has also a frequency with certain energy. When that matches with some little trigger as well, then it start to resonate. It start to just start to show destructively, and that's happened with everyone. So it's a very important paragraph. Give us a very scientific explanation and reason why our pain body does work and how it does work as well. It's a great piece of information, I must say. Um, and it further says, Eckhart Tolle, the usual pattern of thought creating emotion is reserved in the case of pain body, or at least initially. He further says, that's an important quick paragraph. Emotions from the pain body quickly gains control of your thinking, and once your mind has taken over by the pain body, your thinking becomes negative. The voice in your head will be telling sad, anxious, or angry story about yourself or your life, about other people, about past, future, or imaginary event. this is a case when you are hallucinated. Uh, the voice will be blaming, accusing, complaining, imagining, and you are totally identified with whatever the voice says. Believe all its distorted thoughts. At that point, the addiction to unhappiness has set in. You see how it's work and how we have to be very calm and have this awareness about pain body, how this is significant in our lives, quality of happiness in our life. Did you see? So it is linked because thought is linked with emotion. Sometimes the thought triggers the emotion, or sometimes emotion generates the thought. So it's a vicious circle which triggers each other. That's happened when let's say the people who love music, or who love pop music, or very louder music, their bodies start to resonate with the music, because music has its own frequency. When it triggers your pain body, you start to feel relaxed, or in some other sort of um, player, and that player may be because of a negative pain which you had, because negativity also gives you a player, but that player is a destructive player, and there is other positive vibes gives you player. These are the peaceful player which does not destruct your body or your physical intelligence, at least what I'm talking about. So okay, there is a conversation is going on. We will come back on this conversation after this quick paragraph. So I would ask Dale if you can read this paragraph.
Sure, just a moment.
Okay.
In the pain body, pain is pleasure. It eagerly devours every negative thought.
Uh,
Uh,
that's a screen
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just skipped the pretending to be you part. I wasn't sure what came before it, but so let me just see. In fact, the usual voice in your head has now become the voice of the pain body. It has taken over the internal dialogue. A vicious circle becomes established between the pain body and your thinking. Every thought feeds the pain body, and in turn, the pain body generates more thoughts. At some point, after a few hours or even a few days, it has replenished itself and returns to its dormant stage, leaving behind a depleted organism and a body that is much more susceptible to illness. It sounds to you like a psychic parasite, or if that sounds to you like a psychic parasite, you are right. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's a great reading, Dale. Yeah, so this vicious circle of pain body start when with your thinking pattern. And many people, I see many people in my family, friends as well, that they can't come out. There is no way out. They can think how we can overcome this. Their thinking generates lot of pains, or based on their previous history of negative series of consequence, and that reflect on their body. One thing always remember, your body's intelligence is very innocent. It does not know what's going on your mind. But if your mind is generating negative thoughts, the body will reflect accordingly. For example, if you are thinking your thoughts is related with some, what we call it, scaredness or scary thought you are thinking, of course, you don't want to react on this scariness, but your body is innocent. It start to react on this thought. You see, that's how they are interlinked. But I should not trigger my innocent body, because I need to know that my body is very polite. My whole body is very innocent, and it can trigger on any innocent or small thought, because my body start to think there is some danger. But obviously, I'm thinking in my mind, which is not danger, but body start to think it is danger because of its innocency, and that is start to react as well sometime. But here the Eckhart Tolle, the author of this book, he is saying something more stronger word. He's saying it sounds like a psychic parasite has entered in my body. It's very mindful thing. We need to understand this. And if I'm not reacting, if I'm not overacting or I'm not part of any drama, which we do, then it does not mean that the pain body is finished or you have control on pain body. Awareness all the time is important. Living in the present is really, really foundational for peace of mind. As soon I come out from my present life, either I'm going in my future or either I'm going into my past, my pain body start to react. And if it's still in dormant stage, like it's like a hibernate stage, it will trigger any time. And many people, many nice people, many great people look like great people, they often many violent behavior. And people can't understand what happened. They never imagined these people. But it has happened. So that's it for today. We will read next week that same topic and with the next extension, how the pain body feeds on drama. That we will read. And if you have any question or thought of today's topic, that how our pain body feeds on our thoughts, you can share. And let me try to read some of the chat between Jenny and the Dale. I try not to let trigger me and pause before responding when I told. I said I will give a try. Reactive thinking is not effective and it is destructive without solution. Proactive thinking offers solution resolution. When someone is cursing you, it is their character, not yours. One does not have the power to control within us. You will give a try. It's hilarious. Yeah. Obviously, it's little personal conversation both, but yeah, always remember, like Jenny is advising very accurately that consciously we have to be proactive, consciously, and that is the one of the greatest solution for preventing any pain body to react negatively. That is a very good advice. But always remember, because of our past history of our life, we had been in what is called suffered or painful childhood. Because of that childhood, our pain body is in dormant state within myself, within yourself. What we need to do, 3-4 things. Number one, we always tend to stay and live in our present moment. Power of now. We have to be in a present moment all the time. Second thing, we have to have a awareness about the pain body is the reality. Third thing, we have to share with my partner, with my girlfriend, with my husband, with my wife, the level of awareness which I have, so that sometime if pain body triggers, she or he aware about this, and so that we both can work to control our pain body. That these triggers are very important to understand, and my partner must know, and I should know their triggers as well. And this companionship make us a spiritual friend, spiritual what is called a partner, an honest partner with each other. We should not source of become trigger of each other's pain body. Rather, we should become the triggers, not to become our triggers of each other. That is more important. But this acceptance has to be made. We need to accept each other with their pain bodies. Actually, we are not marrying with each other. We are good partners are those who are very acceptable for other people's pain body. And we can help my partners, removing the pain body, that pain body. So that's it for today's. We will continue to read this. Yeah, Jenny.
Oh, I was just going to thank you. You said that's it. So I was going to say bye and thanks for the class, as usual.
No problem. Del, you can introduce yourself. We don't know, I think, much about you. What do you do? And hope we see you in the next class.
Thank you. I'm a New Yorker. I'm up in Niagara Falls, New York. I grew up not far from here in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
I teach elementary school children physical education. So I have a pretty fun job. I work around young kids. But it's a special job because imagine all the kids I work with, they have pain bodies too. And every person I work with as an employee or a person getting serviced in a school, it's a real different time to be working in the community. But so part of what I do besides parent 2 young children is work at an elementary school with lots of children. And I'm a 45-year-old parent of 2. I've got a boy that's 2 years old and a daughter that's 5. And that's why I'm sort of on mute, because I'm kind of eating breakfast and the kids have come and left since I've been on this little meeting. But yeah, I'm glad I could find you guys here today.
Thank you very much.
We are too.
What
an important job that you have. That's amazing. You can, there's so much that I had to learn as an adult on how to, it's been well practiced on how to not be a reactive thinker and be a proactive thinker. I wish I would have learned this as a child. You're in a hot spot where you can really teach that to so many young people. But gosh, all the pain body experiences that I experienced before I learned this type of thinking, wow, I wish I would have known at 5 what I know now. We're the same age, so it took a minute.
Excellent. It's a great...
Yeah. I know even outside of school, it was just I personally, have had moments where I can sense it's like these thoughts and feelings, are like a cloud, and if I don't somehow find a way to manage it, it'll like ruin, a period of time for me, because these negative thoughts could keep, running their script in my mind, whether it's about money or whatever it is. So besides having you all here to interact with, it's great to have Eckert as an author that just keeps putting out good material and it's relatable for everyone and
Excellent.
helpful.
Excellent. It's great to meet you, Dale, and we will see you next Sunday at the same time.
I hope so. Okay, thank you. Same
Thank
to
you.
you all.
Thank you,
Good to meet
everyone.
you,
See you.
Dale.
See you next.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Mike. Bye, Maratib.
Bye.
Bye, Tina. Bye, Maratib.
Bye, Mike and Jenny. Thank you. Hello, A.R. Malik. We just finished our today's class, and we will come next Sunday, the same time, for our next class. Thank you.